So a lot of you guys keep asking me how I made the kill feed or death notices in Black Hole Sun, and I know I didn't explain it in the tutorial. The thing is, it's so simple that I thought that people will figure it out, but apparently nobody can figure it out. So I'm just gonna make this tutorial and show you how I did it. So basically I found a site where I downloaded the CSGO icons for the weapons. That's pretty much all you need. And as you can see, I don't have all of them because the site went private for some reason. But anyways, so you have your composition, whatever, 1080p, it's fine. And what you want to do now is create a solid, and it can be 1920, but I used 150 for height. And let's make it black. There we go. And then you're gonna use ellipse tool and draw a mask, something like this. Yeah, this is fine. Maybe a bit more. There we go. And you're gonna feather it a lot. Maybe even decrease the mask expansion, and on the solid itself you're gonna change the opacity. By the way, I'm using, if you're unfamiliar with After Effects, I'm using keyboard shortcuts. So T brings opacity, M brings the mask, double M brings all the mask properties. So yeah, and I think I maybe used sometimes another one, and I changed the opacity as well to something like 20, maybe even decreased expansion, something like that, maybe feather, depending on the video, on the clip. If the action, like if the map looks very bright and I want to place the death notice there, then I maybe want to increase this sort of black background that CSGO death notices have. And now what you want to do is select your weapon. So for example, we have an AK kill, so I'm just gonna drop it in and scale it up a bit, something like that. It looks good. And now you just want to add some text. That's pretty much it. So player, let's decrease that, I think 100 maybe. I used a font called Purista, medium, I think. Yeah. So you want to center this. By the way, you hold, when you click with the mouse and drag around, hold Control and Shift, and it should snap to the center of the composition, and you can just drag it to the side and place it so that there's a bit of space here. And make sure that this left text is aligned to the right, so when you go and change the name, it won't go over the weapon, it will go to the left. And the color, I didn't really bother with precise coloring. I used something like this. This looks pretty much like the CSGO color. And well, I can basically duplicate this and drag it over here. This one is going to be aligned to the left. And make sure that it's pretty much the same distance from the weapon, from the weapon icon. And me. There we go. And obviously the enemy has to be blue. A bit more. That, there we go. So that's pretty much it. That's your kill feed. And now what you want to do is basically, maybe you want to tweak the mask and the the background, the black solids. So now what you want to do is pre-compose this. Let's name it enemy1, whatever. But if you want to do a bunch of these, then you have to basically copy and paste it every time, and don't move it. Just hide this one and, you know, change here enemy 2 and recompose it again. Now we have these two death notices, and if you want to rotate them like I did, first of all they need to be let me just make a background. So if you want to rotate them, well, first of all they need to be a 3D layer, and what you want to do is move the anchor point. You can press A for anchor point and move it up to the top. For example, you can move it to the top, and now when you rotate, oh, there we go. If you rotate it, then it will like swing. And if you maybe want to rotate it, you know, left and right, like I did in some cases, then you have to move this to the side. Something like this. And let's move this one like this. This one is actually up, wrong way. There we go. Yeah, that looks fine. So now what you want to do is move the anchor point to the right, and oh, anchor point, you can do it like this, or I have this nice tool, Motion 2 by Mount MoGraph, and I can just click here and it will move it to the right. And now when you want to rotate it, caps lock, it will swing this way. And if you're wondering how I made the, you know, how I made it like wiggle or whatever, you know, swing, basically what I did, I just, you know, put a keyframe here, and, you know, I moved forward and I rotated, come on, a bit, you know, a bit more forward, and then you go forward in time and you rotate it back. I don't know why is it lagging. There we go. And, you know, go forward in time, move it forward a bit, and back. But every time when you rotate it, you want it to be less and less. You know, you rotated this to, let's say it was 335. Oh fuck. This one only 335. So this one goes to 20. So this one shouldn't go to 300 actually. Should it? Yeah. So this one has to go to a higher number. So let's say 350. 350, please. 350. There we go. And when it goes back, it goes to, let's say, 413. Okay. So now you can see how it sort of starts swinging, and now if I rotate it up again to like 335, back to, let's see, something like 8 and 0. Okay, let's preview this. Probably gonna be very, very slow because it takes 6 seconds. But I could just shrink them. By the way, I can shrink with you click on the keyframe and you hold Alt and click on the keyframe, and it's gonna shrink them. I mean squeeze them. So there we go. It sort of bounces. And if you want to make it smooth, you know, press F9. It's gonna be a bit smoother. But now with this tool there is a much simpler way, which is just adding, oops, 2 keyframes. You put this one to 0, and this has a nice feature called Excite, and this, sorry, only on the last keyframe. There we go. Why are you not working? Or maybe it doesn't work with orientation. Hold on. 90 0 excite. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see that it bounces automatically with, you know, without keyframing, which is nice. And this also works sort of naturally if you move it. So if this happens very fast, you know, it's gonna keep that motion. So you can see how it shows up faster. Actually, let me just do this so it's a bit smoother. So you can see it sort of bounces fast, but if I move it, you know, away so that it's slower, it's gonna bounce slower and even less. That basically saves you a lot of time. And that's pretty much it, you know, when it comes to making Black Hole Sun kill feed. I mean, death notices, whatever you want to call them. And every time you have another clip, I know it's a pain in the ass. Maybe there is another way, but I haven't really figured it out. You just, you know, copy and paste this. Maybe you want to center it. Just hide all this. You know, you want to replace a weapon with, let's say, FAMAS. Can I do this? Yes, yes I can. Okay, so you click and alt drag and it's gonna replace it and keep the scale and everything the same. Let's try with CZ. There we go. The only thing you're probably gonna need to do is move up the text layers and maybe change the black solids, and that's pretty much it. You know, thanks for watching. Whatever. Check out Mount Mograv. He's a really sick guy. Also has some like After Effects tutorials. This plugin is literally like the most useful plugin ever for After Effects. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and goodbye.